Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. It's time for Arrow Video's November announcements, and we have, well, three titles here, three releases, and I think they are all notable in their own right. One is a spectacular release, which we'll get to at the end. Let's start off with the US and Canada only release of Barbarella. We have the 4K release here. We have the Arrow Store exclusive cover, and we have this psychedelic standard kind of limited edition, which is nice as well. So it's the year 40,000 AD when evil scientist Durand creates a deadly weapon with the potential to cause mass devastation. The president of the Earth dispatches Barbarella to hunt him down. Crash landing in an icy wilderness somewhere in the Tau Che planetary system, Barbarella is rescued by Mark Hand and guided by the blind angel Pygar to Duran's lair in Sogo, a city of corruption and debauchery where they encounter the great tyrant Black Queen. And her minions throws her mission into jeopardy. Now, it's a brand new 4K restoration by the original camera negative. We've got a reversible sleeve. We have a double-sided fold-out poster, art cards, postcards, illustrated booklet. Disc 1 is the 4K, where we have the original lossless mono audio, plus remixed Dolby Atmos surround sound, and lossless French mono, featuring the voice of Jane Fonda. We have the optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, audio commentary by film critic Tim Lucas, alternative opening and closing credits in 4K with Dolby Vision, and an isolated score. Disc 2 is the extras, where we have Another Girl, Another Planet, an appreciation of Barbarella by film critic Glenn Kenny, Paul Joyce's behind-the-scenes featurette, Barbarella Forever, Love, a 2-hour in-depth discussion between film and cultural historians Tim Lucas and Steve Bissett on the impact and legacy of Barbarella. Dress to Kill, a 30-minute interview with film fashion scholar Elizabeth Castaldo-Ludin on Jacques Fontre's world-changing costume designs. Framing for Claude, an interview with the camera operator Roberto Girometti, Tonazzi on Tonazzi. Actor-director Ricky Tonazzi discusses his life and work with his father and Barbarella star. An Angel's Body Double, actor Fabio Testi discusses his early career as a stuntman and body double for John Philip Law on Barbarella. Dino and Barbarella, video essay by Eugenio Ercolani on producer Dino De Laurentiis. Trailer, US TV and radio spots, and image gallery. It's a shame that it's a US and Canada only release because, yeah, I would have jumped on this. I kind of like Barbarella. I think it's a fun film, kind of ahead of its time. Just a shame that it's not for the UK. I may end up getting this one though at some point. Then, after the success of Tremors, we get Tremors 2 Aftershocks. We have the limited edition Blu-ray here. We have the 4K UHD, and we have the 4K UHD Arrow limited edition Arrow Store exclusive. Now, this kind of matches the original release. So, yeah. Errol Bassett's celebrity after defeating the graboid attack against the town of Perfection has proved short-lived until he's recruited by a Mexican oil company whose workers have found more than they bargained for under the soil. With the help of scientists and new sidekick, not to mention the return of gun-toting survivalist pal Burt Gummer, Errol is about to learn the graboids have evolved and are deadlier than ever. Reprising the same mix of nail-biting horror and rip-tickling humour that made the original film so beloved, Tremors 2 Aftershocks is back in a brand new 4K restoration that makes this creature feature pop like never before. So we have a new 4K restoration from the original negative by Arrow Films. It's presented in HDR10 compatible. We have the original lossless 2.0 and 4.0 surround sound. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Brand new feature commentary by director and co-writer S.S. Wilson and producer Nancy Roberts. Brand new feature commentary by Jonathan Melville, author of Seeking Perfection, the unofficial guide to Tremors. Graboid Go Boom, newly filmed interview with special effects designer Peter Chesney. Critical need to know information, a newly filmed interview with CG supervisor Phil Tippett. The making of Tremors 2, an on-set featurette with the cast and crew. Outtake, trailers for Tremors and Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Image gallery, we have an illustrated perfect bound booklet, double-sided fold-out poster, small fold-out poster featuring new Shrieker X-ray art and limited edition packaging. Now, Tremors for me is a fantastic movie. It's amazing. I love it. It's one of those films I never get tired of watching. Tremors 2 is fine, decent. It's a good sequel. It's just hard to live up what was simply perfection in the first movie. And I got to say, I kind of wish this was almost a Tremors 2, 3, 4 box set because they're all fine. They're good movies, better than they have any right to be. But I don't know if it's really 4K material. I mean, saying that, the chances are I'm probably going to pick this up, being a huge Tremors fan that I am, and I kind of enjoy this one. I just think the first one's perfect. This one never quite gets there, but I like some of the things that they try to do with the Tremors series. So I would be interested in possibly a 3 and 4 coming out at some point. The Blu-rays have been long out of print. I guess we'll wait and see. On to the last release, and it is the exhaustive Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe limited edition Blu-ray. Now, I've heard of Coffin Joe. I haven't seen any of the movies. I am getting this. It's something that's been on a want to see list for a longest while. £90. Let's see what's included with that. An unholy undertaker in search of the perfect woman to propagate his bloodline. Zé do Caixão made his screen debut with his first Brazilian-produced horror film. At midnight, I'll take your soul. 3 years later, his quest would continue in the night, I'll possess your corpse, with Zé embarking on an even more brutal campaign of terror, aided and abetted by his hunchback assistant. The Strange World of Coffin Joe, meanwhile, is an anthology of 3 short horror films, featuring a strange doll maker, a necrophiliac balloon seller with a foot fetish, and a psychotic professor involved in sadistic rituals. Sex, perversion, and sadism abound in The Awakening of the Beast, as a psychiatrist experiments on 4 volunteers with LSD in this surreal examination of 60s drug culture. Diverging from horror towards satirical black comedy, The End of Man sees a naked stranger emerge from the sea to perform miracles in a nearby town and become a modern messiah whose deeds will affect the whole world. Rarely seen sequel, When the Gods Fall Asleep, continues this blackly comic trajectory as our messianic cult figure sets out to right the wrongs, expose corruption, and end social unrest. The strange hostel of naked pleasures brings Zé do Caixão back to the screen as a proprietor of an isolated guest house where, on a dark and stormy night, an eclectic group of strangers seek shelter. In hellish flesh, Dr. George Medeiros is a brilliant scientist but a neglectful husband whose wife takes a lover and plans to murder George for his fortune. But the doctor is only disfigured and returns with a plan for revenge. Meanwhile, in hallucinations of a deranged mind, the colleagues of psychiatric doctor driven to insanity by nightmarish visions of Zé do Caixão enlist the character creator Jose Mollica Marins to convince the patient that Zé does not exist, but all is not as it seems. Finally, in the embodiment of evil, Marins returns to the role that made his name famous one last time. Zé do Caixão emerges on the streets of Sao Paulo in 2008, haunted by ghostly visions of spirited past victims and still in pursuit of the woman who can give him the perfect child. Wow, that's a lot of titles and a quick synopsis all the way through them. This is a huge package. Like I said, I've heard about Coffin Joe a lot. I've always discovered articles on it, people talking about the film. I've been really kind of curious about it. This looks extensive. It's pricey. It is a pricey product, but you're getting a lot of content there and a lot of movies. This is definitely going to be on my Christmas list, I think, come this year. It just looks fantastic. Just now, they've got £20 off, £90 you can get this for, when its standard price will be 110. Yeah, looks pretty incredible if you ask me. So there we go. We have Barbarella for US and Canada only. We've got Tremors 2 Aftershocks, which is for everybody. And we have the Coffin Joe set, which is for everybody as well. It's limited in titles, but I would say it's high in quality. I am super excited to get my hands on the Coffin Joe films and check them out. There will be reviews on the channel because I am getting this at some point. Barbarella, that would be nice to get a hold of, but I won't rush out to get it. And Tremors 2, I can honestly see myself picking that up at some point because it's Tremors related and I kind of love that. But I want to know what you think of these releases. What makes you excited? Is there anything there that just you can't wait to get your hands on? Like me and that Coffin Joe set. I can't wait to delve into that already. I want to know your opinion on this releases, what you're picking up. So let me know in the comment box below whether you love these announcements, hate them, you're just kind of like, not really much there for me. Let me know what more you would have liked from Arrow this month, or if you're already trying to work out a way to pay for these luscious items. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to the Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.